Ba-dum bum bum. Bum bum. Ba-dum bum bum. Just see a Kia Soul taking a left turn and driving away. I tell you what, I don't know. I had an SL500 Mercedes in 1995 that I paid cash for. And I feel more kinship, more bond with other Kia Soul drivers than I do that car. I feel, I don't know, maybe it's senility, or maybe it's craziness, or maybe it's whatever, desperation. I don't even care what anybody calls it. But when I see a Kia Soul riding down the road, I just want to go, hey, I want to high five them. And again, one just took a left turn and headed off that way. It was a slightly older model. It didn't see me power fist or whatever you call it. But I felt the kinship. I will tell you that. Let's see who we got hopping on today. Hello, Pete. Hello, The Reason. Hello, Tony and Fox and User and Dill, my old friend. Hello, Brian. Hello, Clean. Anthony, Barbara, Andrew, Allie, Tanya. Hello, Tanya. How are you? Hello, Kate. Hello, the Captain. Hello. Well, Tanya's back. Hello, Pete. Morton Solar. That's interesting. We've got a little solar company watching. Biz, Melissa, Ellen. I think we're going to have an exciting morning. I'm very optimistic. It's Monday morning. I'm at a different spot. I'm at a Dunkin' Donuts. I don't want to reveal too much till I get into my intro, so I better just get into my intro and start talking. So good morning, Julie Flanagan. Good morning. Good morning to you. My name is Ken Tracy, and this is Coffee with Ken. It is Monday morning. I believe it is November 25th. And I actually know the time. It is 6:10 a.m. Happy Monday morning. This is a little show I have been doing for quite some time. It is a show about me talking. It is a show about me sharing some feelings, sharing a little bit about the ups and downs we have in life. But for those that have been watching a while, you know it is not just a show about me talking. For those that have been watching a while, you know it's also a show about me sharing my love of coffee. And with that in mind, I have a nice hot cup of Dunkin' Donuts coffee. Oh yeah, I had to debate it this morning. I'm coming at you from Naperville, Illinois. It's a town of about 150,000 people, about 35 miles west of Chicago. And when I woke up this morning, I'm going, where do I want to do my show? It's not that cold out. It's like 50 degrees, but it's pretty darn wet. It's really pretty when I do my show along in downtown Naperville and sit outside amongst the lights and before the town is up and at 'em. And it's a really good backdrop, but sometimes I have a hard time focusing when I'm there because, you know, it's a little wet. It's a little cold. There's trucks rumbling around. And my conversation runs dry at about 25 to 30 minutes because I'm a little distracted. Good morning, Trilly. And so I thought, hey, I had a really nice show yesterday. I talked for an hour and 10 minutes. I went to a Dunkin' Donuts right outside my gym. I don't want to work out first thing in the morning. Yesterday I was working. I work as a waiter in Naperville at a pretty nice restaurant. And I was starting at 10:15 a.m., so my day was fast forwarded. So I grabbed my coffee at a Dunkin' Donuts, went to the gym, parked out in front, did my show, went in and had a great workout, and then went to work, and that was my day. Today, my day is totally different. It's Monday morning, and while that's back to work for most people, when you wait tables, your schedule kind of gets turned upside down. And night becomes day, and day becomes night, and weekends become weekdays, and weekdays become weekends. You work on holidays, you miss church. I've had days, I've worked on Father's Day and worked on July 4th, and certainly worked on New Year's Eve waiting tables. Haven't done it my whole life, but occasionally I do fall back on it, and this is one of those occasional times. Oh, it is. So anyway, long story short, I was waking up. I was going, should I go to my Starbucks in downtown Naperville and then do my show? And in downtown Naperville, along the streets on one of those planters where I often do it? Or should I go and do it from the comfort of the Dunkin' Donuts parking lot? And then I debated, as I have a tendency to do, and wondered, okay, Ken, if you do it at the Dunkin' Donuts, your show might be a little better, but then you might want to go to Starbucks when you're done. And you're going to have to buy not one coffee today, but two. So I pondered some more. Oh, I did. And I said, what the heck? This is a show I love to do, a show I'm serious about, a show that I think is going to continue to grow and become all the rage. So I'm worth 2 cups of coffee. So let's go to the Dunkin' Donuts. Let's do my show in the parking lot of Dunkin' Donuts. Let's ask the kind woman at the Dunkin' Donuts if they give a 10% discount to people that are 55 and older. Because I was told they do by one of my viewers yesterday. And I like to think my viewing audience is the most intelligent audience in all of social media. So 2 days in a row, I pulled up, super perky, ordered my extra large coffee with cream, and said, oh, by chance, do you give a discount for those 55 and over? And the nice woman in the window said, no, 65. I'm like, oh. Somebody on social media had told me otherwise. Thank you much. Have a great morning. And that brings me to here. Angie, why? Because I'm 56 years old. I don't know how it happened. I don't know when it happened. No, I mean, I know when it happened. It was funny. I was talking to a woman I work with the other day, one of my managers. And I told her I was 56. And she goes, wait, you're 56? I was thinking, oh, awesome. She's going to say she thought I was 42 or something like that. And after she paused for a little bit, she goes, I thought you were 55. When did you turn 56? I go, huh. Well, back in August. And then she started going, well, happy belated birthday. And I go, well, it was over 3 months ago. It's a little late for that. You might as well start talking down to my 57th birthday. She goes, oh, well, I didn't even notice it was your birthday. Why didn't we celebrate? I go, well, honestly, you didn't even know me back then. I started here a few days after that. She goes, ah. But anyway, for those that have been watching a while, it's also a show about me sharing my love of coffee. And with that in mind, I'm so excited to have a nice hot cup of coffee and I am excited to have my first sip. My hope is wherever you are, whatever you're doing, that you got a hot cup of coffee in front of you as well. Cheers to us. Hold on, let me take another sip. It almost went down quicker than I could taste. So the sign's right there. The sign is right there. Dunkin' Donuts drive-thru and Baskin Robbins. I don't know. It's been a while since I've really craved a Baskin Robbins. I talked on my show yesterday how I thought Dunkin' Donuts could use a brand makeover. Perhaps Baskin Robbins could as well. Maybe that is them combining is their makeover. Whoever doesn't believe that stereotypes come from something, I tell you, I've been doing this show for 10 minutes now, and I've had two of Naperville's finest, Naperville police cars, pull in and get some coffee and donuts. So cops really do like donuts. Or maybe they just like coffee and they work late hours. I don't know. But anyway, do I like Dunkin' breakfast sandwiches? Well, if you're talking those little wraps, I do. I love them. They're really tasty. They're amazingly hot. They got egg and cheese and like sausage in a little tortilla. And they were like $1.39 last time I bought one, and I looked yesterday and they were $2.39. And maybe it's been a couple of years since I purchased one, and everything's doubled in price since then. Yeah. We are the same age, TD says. When is my birthday? Ricky T is feeling great. What's my favorite breakfast? My favorite breakfast, that's going to pause me to answer that one. Either a ham and cheese has got to be American because it melts well, and mushroom omelet with a lot of the crispy hash browns and a side of pancakes, or a country fried chicken. What is it? Like chicken fried chicken or country fried chicken or whatever they call it, with gravy and then a side of biscuits and gravy again. But I love the hash browns and I love the side of pancakes that comes with breakfast. But the breakfast I usually do is I eat a few pieces of fruit and some cottage cheese. Somebody says, I look great for my 50s. Thank you. Tanya says 56 is young. She turned 54 on August 21st. Never felt better. Well, way to go, Tanya. Ricky T is feeling great. Navillian says that's a shaky hand. Pete says Dunkin's is way better than Starbucks. TD wants to know my birthday. It's August 7th. Somebody wants to know if I brushed my teeth. I don't know why they're asking. I won't even answer that. Do I like Dunkin' breakfast? I've touched on that. Somebody's commenting on the temperature in Charlotte. And Vanessa is following the live creator. Vanessa is following the live creator. And the gringo is following the live creator. And Cece says hi from Toronto. And Sandra Lynn. Sandra Lynn, I'm just down the road from you. If you want to hop in your car, cruise down the road, there's 2 parking spots next to me. We could do one of those cherished in front of a live audience. I just roll down my window like this, and you could roll down your passenger window, and I could go, hey there. Any questions from our live audience? Maybe tomorrow I might park in a middle spot, because right now I'm parked on the end by a curb. Maybe tomorrow I'll find a spot on the middle so I can have people on both sides pull up along me and ask me questions from a live audience. TD says she'll be 57 on March 31st. Well, TD, you look wonderful at any age. I'll tell you, you look great at any age. You do. Truly says they're near Hollywood Boulevard in Naperville. Truly, you have been watching for a little while. And I edit all these lives, and they become shorts and reels and TikToks. And the live video I was editing last night when I got done with work, you were talking about having a book club meeting at Anderson's Book Club in downtown Naperville. That was last night. It was like a month ago now. And that's really the end of my story about that. Hello from Brazil. Hello, Vanessa. Cece's 56. I must be really good amongst the 50-somethings. Sandra Lynn says if she drives her son to school, she'll stop by. Well, I see a school bus right there. You know what school that's going to, or coming from, actually. You know, I'm across the street from a cemetery. It's kind of a neat cemetery. Cemeteries are a little bit creepy, but a little bit neat. And I'm parked across the street from one. And it's kind of neat because they're so historic. And I grew up in a town called Downers Grove, about 10 miles east from here. And I think Downers Grove was founded in like 1828 or 1833 or something like that. So, it's almost 200 years old. And there's some gravestones in that cemetery from like Civil War times. And same here. Our town was founded by a guy named Joe Naper, hence Naperville. And I think it was much smaller when he found it. But I believe he's buried right along there. They're just kind of neat. Seeing some names. There's a bunch of names of people. If Naperville has founding fathers, there's a bunch of people whose names are on streets right over there. Hey, Alexandra Hope, thank you for sending me the rose. Pete grew up in Downers Grove too. Pete, I think you might have mentioned that you might have lived on the wrong side of town and gone to Downers Grove South. Might have gone to Downers Grove South. Truly talks about the things our fathers saw, the untold stories of World War II generation. Oh, that's a book you're reading. Because I was going to say, my father was born in 40. And, his recollection of World War II probably isn't great. But that sounds like a really interesting book. Why are there fences around cemeteries? Well, Pete, I'm sure that's a joke, but honestly, I'm looking at a cemetery without a fence around it. So, I don't know. Cece says I have great skin. Well, I don't know that I do. Again, I think I think I might have fairly good skin. I think when I was a kid, somebody that said they were 56 seemed really old to me. And I think when I was a kid, somebody that was 56 may have looked differently than I do now. I think people age better now. I don't know if it's, maybe less smoking cigarettes, maybe cutting back on some vices. But I didn't cut vices. I smoked and drank and lived a fairly hard life. And I still look radiant at 56. Silly Billy says they walk their dog in cemeteries a lot. It's peaceful. Yeah, it is. Let me say, oops. Kristen grew up in Naperville. Pete says he's right. He admits he grew up on the wrong side of town. Because people are dying to get in. Ba-dum-bum-bum. Do I want to be buried? I don't know. I don't know. I'm not sure I care too much what happens to my body after I pass. I'm not sure I care, really. I hope I'm fondly remembered. But as far as what happens to my body, I don't know that I care. Where in the U.S. am I? I am in Naperville, which is a town just west of Chicago, Illinois. Wendy shared the live. Thank you. Cece finished all 7 seasons of Mad Men, speaking of smoking. Funny thing is, Cece, I was picturing Mad Men when I said that as well. About you makes you look unstable. That seems strange. That they're, oh, there goes. There you, I'm sure. How can you drink that trash coffee? I don't know, pretty easily. Let me take another sip. Thank you for reminding me. Oh. Cece says they are. I don't know what that means. Silly Billy, don't respond to that person. They are a troll. Trolls hop on, create fake accounts. I don't want to give them any attention because that's what they do, and they make up stuff. And I had one just hop on that got a response from somebody. So I'd rather not respond to them. Walt Disney is frozen. Maybe will be thawed out someday. Like one of those, I think there was a movie about that. I think there's probably been a lot of movies. They actually do that. Is Walt Disney really frozen? I don't know that I have any great desire to be frozen and have my body put in deep freeze. Yeah, no, I don't really have any great desire for that. Do I get Dunkin' Dark? No, I put extra cream in it. Cece says it's a great show. Oh, you're talking about Mad Men. Yeah. A lot of people interested in the cryogenic chamber, so I might be alone in my lack of desire to my desire to yeah, there goes another one. There goes another one. Have I ever tried Scooter's coffee? No, I have not ever tried Scooter's coffee. I accidentally just liked my live. I can like my live. That's interesting. That is interesting. So I could sit here and slam the live all day. I could slam my live all day and get 1 million different likes. There goes another troll. It's amazing. It's amazing. It's amazing how bad these trolls want attention. I think I'm just going to have to start embracing the trolls. I might start embracing the trolls. I might start building my audience totally around trolls because they need to be on my show so badly. I just had a fake troll saying he's from Planet Fitness, making up stuff about stuff. It's so weird. Maybe I'm just going to start embracing it. Maybe I don't even, all you guys that are nice and supportive and watch my videos and like to engage and like to tell me jokes about cemeteries, maybe you guys aren't my niche. Maybe I should just embrace the trolls. Huh. And chat with trolls all day who say lies about me and make up stuff about me. Amazing. Hello, Lisa Strong. Good morning, Kelly R. How are you? Yeah, no, Frank, it's so weird. It's so weird. It's so weird. I don't think it's our job to understand. I think for most of my life, I tried to understand. Good morning, Josh Hogrand. Happy Monday, Chili. I guess it's not our job to understand. I would say in real life, it's our job to avoid. because you are the sum of the 5 people you hang out with. And if one of the 5 people you're hanging out with is hateful and a hater, some of that's going to rub off on you. And the problem, what bothers me, is even having trolls rubs off on me, because I'm reading these fake comments and my blood pressure's going up, and I'm going, wow, this person's weird, because they stalk me. But I'd rather be talking about sunrises and faith and coffee and snow and weather and Naperville and Downers Grove and telling jokes. But it's hard not getting distracted. It's hard not getting distracted. It's hard not getting distracted. Cece likes to go to Hawaii. Who are the 5 people I currently hang out with? I'd say people from work more than anything. And I think that's probably true for a lot of us. People from work. I wish I could say my kids, but that wouldn't be true. And I think the reason I feel it's important to hang out with my kids more is hopefully to be a little bit of a positive influence on their life. And even if I don't get to see them, I mean, I only see them a few times a week or what have you, tell them I love them 50 times a week, so they always know they're loved by their dada. Cece wants to watch the sunset over the ocean. I was in Yellowstone this summer, as most of you know. I think you need to find beauty where it is, where you are. Find beauty where you are. You know? Because almost longing to be in Hawaii and watching the sunset over the ocean almost seems like we're not appreciating where we are at the moment. And I think just as a mental health thing, rather than longing to be in Hawaii or longing to be in Yellowstone or on the top of the mountain or on vacation, I think the key to happiness is maybe finding joy despite our circumstances. I'm borrowing that one from church, but it's a line I've used a lot in the last 6 months. Jamie asked if I've ever thought of starting a podcast. I think this is a podcast. I think I started a podcast. When I was in Yellowstone, I was longing for Naperville. I was. Yeah. I tell you what, Yellowstone was beautiful. It was interesting. I worked in Yellowstone for like 2 months. I rode my scooter across the country. It's a Suzuki Bergman 400. Rode it through Illinois, Iowa, Nebraska, and Wyoming, and found my way into Yellowstone. Took like 4 or 5 days there. Was terrified half the time, but exhilarated the other half. Worked there for 2 months as a waiter. I hadn't waited tables in 10 years, but I'm twice divorced with 4 beautiful kids. And I have a lot of financial responsibilities, and I had left the career of real estate 2 or 3 years ago, and didn't know what to do, but knew it was hard to keep a roof over my head. So got offered a job waiting tables in Yellowstone, and went out there and worked for 2 months. And I'll tell you what, it was beautiful. I loved riding my scooter through the park. It was amazing. But as I know, views get taken for granted for at least by me, when had repeatedly. I lived in one of the most beautiful 1-bedroom apartments in Chicago, probably about 30 years ago now, and it had wraparound views of the whole city. And after a while, it just kind of started looking like a picture you hang on your wall. And you kind of take it for granted a little bit. You know, I bet you put the Mona Lisa up on your wall. Maybe that's not a good example because the Mona Lisa is not that big and honestly not that spectacular of a painting. But you put it up there, you'll probably get a lot of people coming to look at it for a while. But then after a while, you'll just kind of take it for granted and it'll just be part of your furniture. Hello from Uganda. Do I have kids? Yes, I have 4 beautiful kids. Hey, thank you so much for following the live creator. I love that. Did I sell my scooter? No, I have not. No, I have not sold my scooter. Morning, Chris Waters. Yeah, see, it's nice to be elsewhere. But I think a lot of times when we go elsewhere, if we stay more than a week, we're ready to come home. I don't know if that was true when I visited Scotland during my youth. I was always really sad as the days ticked away. But I think that was partially the locale, partially being with family. My mother grew up in Scotland, and most of my relatives still live there. And used to really have fond times going there and getting used to the culture and getting to know my cousins. Yeah. So other than that, I think if you go somewhere with a beautiful view or a nice beach, I don't know. I can only lay on a beach for so long. As a matter of fact, I can barely lay on a beach at all. I don't like it. I don't like sand, really. Do you? Favorite part of beach and a sand is kind of memories of walking down the hard-packed sand, right along the coast, right along the water. Because then the sand's not sticking to you and getting on you. It's just my thoughts on beaches and sand. Chris Waters says, and I don't know if it's a he or a she. I guess most Chris's are probably he's. Yous are like concrete beaches along Lake Michigan. Where are you from, user? I wonder where you're from. Oh, Kia Soul! Kia Soul. Watch this. Check this out. See that Kia Soul? I don't know if you guys can see it at all. But there's a kinship for all Kia Soul owners. I'm sure they probably see me in this parking lot across the dark road and are probably shaking, going, hey, Kia Soul. We have fun. Kia Soul seems like a good beach car. Kind of seems like something you could put a surfboard on top of, or, I don't know, have some gear in the back. Why didn't Kia name it the Soul, as in the capital, instead of Seoul? Well, because I don't think they were trying to name it after the capital. I think they wanted to say the people that own it have soul. And I don't know that I necessarily have soul, but I do feel a certain kinship with that lime green Kia Soul that just drove by. Yes, I do. But it is Monday morning. How long have I talked for? What am I going to do today? What am I going to do today? My restaurant's closed. Yesterday I worked. It was slow. I had a crazy big night Friday, kind of an average-ish, slightly below average night Saturday, and you could hear crickets in the restaurant yesterday when I worked. Got cut early, which wasn't. I mean, I guess it was appreciated because we're just standing around hoping for customers, and I don't like doing that. I really enjoy my job when we have customers. It might be the job I like the most in my life, and I can't say it just for waiting tables, but I'll say specifically where I work and the customers I have and the experience they're looking to have when they come out and dine with us. I think the job I have right now might be the favorite job I've ever had. I don't like the slow days because then, I don't like standing around. I love engaging with customers. I love telling them the spiel that we tell them and laughing and joking with them. And they're there to have a good time. And I seem pretty good at having helping them have a good time. And yeah, I think it's probably the restaurant. I talked a few weeks ago, we were slow. I think restaurants are probably traditionally slow between October or between like Halloween and Thanksgiving. And some of my all of our shifts got cut back a little bit. And my revenue, my income I was making at my restaurant dropped as well. And because of that, the knee-jerk reaction was, well, I better look for another job. And kind of did, and threw, my toe in the water at a couple different restaurants and was talking to them. And I was telling them, I really love where I work. I really love where I work. And I really love my job. And I wasn't sure by talking to them that I would have the same fondness for working there that I do for working where I do. And it was a weird feeling. It was a weird feeling. I think I could have closed them both for the job and gotten hired. But I wouldn't have said yes. Yeah, user, we probably will be crazy busy during Christmas season. But for me, it was tough because I couldn't afford to be slow. And I was staying in the extended stay and spending $1,600 a month to stay in that extended stay. And so when I was at a slow shift, not only were my legs hurting and was I bored, but I was frantically going, oh my gosh, I can't afford this. I'm in trouble. And so yeah, there was an extra layer of panic. And rather than live my life panicking that I wasn't selling enough, or that we didn't have enough customers, or that I wasn't at the right restaurant, or that I should be doing something else, I cut my costs. And that felt really good. Felt really good. So let's drink a little more coffee. Good morning, Jimmy. Where is Ken going today? I don't know. I do not know. I don't know. Not too worried about it. I'm meeting with my older daughters on Wednesday. They're doing Thanksgiving at their mom's. We're going out for dinner Wednesday night. I was thinking of reaching out, seeing if they wanted to meet for coffee, but I don't know. If anyone has teen daughters out there, I know they love their dad, and I know they know their dad loves them. But I think one of the hardest lessons I've had to learn was that my little daughters didn't need their dada the way I thought they would need their dada as they were growing up. And maybe that's a natural part of leaving the nest. And maybe, I know when I was 15, 16, 17, I resented my parents, and last thing I wanted to do was spend any time with my parents. So maybe the fact that they've got full lives and friends and activities and are always busy, I think I let it kind of hurt me a little bit and made me sad for a while. And it's especially hard when you're divorced because then you're not seeing them head off to school and you're so excited to see them. You're so excited to see them, and then you pick them up and they're sick of you the first minute you pick them up in the car. I mean, not right now. They're older, but I'll tell you what, when they were like 14, I'd pick them up. They'd seem like they hated me from the first moment I got in the car. And I go, what the heck? This is the high point of my week. How can you be sick of me? I haven't seen you in a couple days. Come on. Let's go get some ice cream. So anyway, one thing I had to learn was I didn't mean I was doing a bad job, or they didn't love me, or they didn't know I loved them. That it was just part of growing up. And that was hard for me to learn. And again, I think you can't put your sense of worth in anything else. And maybe that's why spirituality is so important, because, you know, if you put your identity as being a loving father, you know, or a happily married husband, or a lawyer, or a brain surgeon, if you put your identity in something outside of you, your identity is at risk, and you are at risk. And I think I put my own thoughts of who I was in being a father, or happily married, or a stockbroker, or a realtor. And that sucked, because I didn't even like being a realtor. But I was vowed and determined. Is it vowed and determined? I don't know. Either way, determined to be the best darn realtor in Naperville, which is hard to do when you don't love it. Yeah. Sarah Jane is noticing Duncan is in the background. It's also in the foreground, Sarah. Alexandra Hope says she's really bad at basing her worth on how well she's doing at her job, meaning that you base your worth on how well you are doing at your job. Yeah, and I think you're in sales, Alexandra. And you can't. I think, and, you know, I think men probably do it worse than women, I'm guessing. But I think men, I know for me, and maybe it's true for women too, put a lot of their identities wrapped up in what they do for a living. You know, and then you get laid off, or, I don't know, have a slow sales month, or whatever. They cut back your hours, and you're going, hey, it doesn't matter what you do. You know, I think back to Rocky, and he was working in a meat processing plant. He was also a fighter, but he wanted to provide for his family, and they had to lay him off. Not that he wasn't doing a great job, but it was just the rules. And, yeah. Pizza and commission sales, it can be a roller coaster. Yeah, I was expecting in real estate that I would get big enough where my valleys were still fairly high and my peaks were even higher. I thought I would just, you know, I knew it was going to have ups and downs, and there's, especially in real estate, there's cyclical months, or there's highs and lows, and probably in most sales jobs, you know, if you're selling swimming pools, you're probably not selling a lot of swimming pools in October. So anyway, I know there's peaks and valleys in sales, and my thought was I'd get big enough where the valleys were okay and the peaks were busier than I could handle. And it never really got that way. And no matter how hard I tried, you know, we'd have slow months, and months where I had no buyers to show and no sellers to meet with. And my job was to find more buyers than sellers. And that didn't feel good. Will Bill wants to feel appreciated at his job. I think we all want that, Will Bill. But maybe what we need to learn is feeling value for ourselves outside of that. And I know I talk about it before. I met with 2 restaurants, and I was wondering, hey, do you guys really want me to work here? And I wanted them to say, oh yeah, Ken, we'll do anything for you. I met with an RV sales company that I would have done a great job, but I didn't feel, they didn't want me bad enough to do what it takes to land me. And maybe that's okay, and maybe that's the job, those jobs they would have been. And maybe it's good that I'm not there. Somebody's saying there's 3,000 realtors in Naperville. I would have guessed more, but 3,000 could be right. But, yeah. I don't know what I have for you. I don't know what I have for you. I'm pretty warm, I know that. I'm wearing a coat. I did laundry yesterday, by the way. I did laundry yesterday. I got cut early from the restaurant. I was sitting at a coffee shop, Pete's Coffee. I go, I think I've got one pair of underwear left. I've got one pair of underwear left and maybe one t-shirt. For those that don't know, I left my extended stay about 2 weeks ago now. And after I bought my Kia Soul, I've been enjoying the comforts of my Kia Soul. And two things I miss in my Kia Soul. One is a coffee maker. And the other is a laundry or a laundry machine. But I'll tell you what, sitting in the coffee shop, I looked at my phone and realized I was running low on necessities, underwear, because there's not much more needed than clean underwear, at least in my opinion. And Googled laundromat near me. Who knew laundromat was spelled Laundromat? If it was up to me, I may have spelled it laundry-mat. I never was a world champion speller. I think I'm fairly good at spelling. But there were certainly always kids better than me. But either way, it was $5 for the wash cycle. It was a huge laundry thing. I could put all my clothes in it. And it cost like $1 to dry. And it's right there. I did a search and I did laundromat near me. And it was 0.2 miles away. It was 0.2 miles away. I go, wow, that's great. So I left my stuff and darted down, threw my clothes in the wash, and got back. Charlene Perkins is liking the live. BizKits wants me to explain why I finish my shift early when I need money. I mean, do I need money, BizKits, more than you need money? I'm not sure why I do. But we'll play your game. Why do I finish my shift early? Well, have you ever worked in a restaurant, BizKits? I'll assume you haven't. When you work at a restaurant, you're not scheduled from 9 to 5 or 4 to 11. You're scheduled a starting time, and then they cut you at a certain time. And then they cut you at a certain time. Well, I've had enough of that. I tried to answer. But I'll continue to answer it, but I won't answer it to him because they're gone. You get cut at a certain time. And then you go home. So that's why. Hmm. Hmm. Zane J says it's cheaper in Uganda with water in a bucket. Your washing is done. True. I could get a long stick with 2 buckets, a bucket on each side. Or I could put a bucket on my head. Maybe carry 3 buckets that way. It would be cheaper in Uganda. I wonder if they have Kia Souls in Uganda. I wonder if they have Kia Souls in Uganda. Good morning, Sean. How's my knee? Lisa Smith, it's been hurting. It's been hurting. I worked a lot of hours this weekend, and my knee's been hurting. Can you drive a Soul to Uganda? I think the Kia Soul is cool enough that it could float on water. I honestly think so. It kind of looks like a beach ball. It kind of looks like a beach ball. My ankle's still a little sore too. I've got aches and pains. My aches have pains, but still able to do it. And the hardest time when I'm working in the restaurant with my aches and pains is when it's slow. When it's slow and you're just standing there and you have nothing else to think about except your sore knee and your sore ankle. And that's no fun. That is no fun. What am I doing for Thanksgiving? I haven't totally decided. I could go out to my sister's. I'm doing Thanksgiving dinner with my girls on Wednesday night. I could go out to my sister. She lives about 90 minutes away. It's just she and my dad. Her kids are elsewhere. I could have a really quiet one. I could go watch a movie. I could get a bucket of chicken. Yesterday I went by the Jewel, which is a grocery store in my area, and they have pretty darn good fried chicken there. And I had a hankering for some fried chicken. But it was a little late. It was a Sunday night. Didn't look like they were frying up from fresh stuff. They sell cheap chicken on Mondays for $5.99 for 8 pieces of heaven. So it wasn't even on sale last night, and it didn't look so fresh, so I opted to not get the cheap chicken. Good morning, Captain Kenny. Lisa Smith, am I not allowed to sit down when there are no customers? I don't think sitting down looks great. I don't think the bosses like it. There's no signs that say, are we not allowed to sit down? But I don't know. It's not a good look, I don't think. So I try not to. Somebody says I just need to do a podcast. Why? It's funny. I get told that 10 times a day. But nobody has ever told me why. And don't say, well, because you've got a good voice. I've got 93 people watching my live right now. Right now. And if I was doing a podcast, I doubt I'd have 93 people listening. Oh, Pete, yes, Jewel does have a Monday chicken package. And Pete, you've probably had their fried chicken. It's amazing. It's delicious. It's a grocery store that I don't particularly love even, but they have amazing fried chicken. Well, thank you, Captain Kenny. And Dana, thank you. So, hello, Dan. What's in my coffee? Just cream. Again, I ask, why would I do a podcast? And nobody's really given me a good answer. Oh, you get the bread and fries. See, I'm too cheap, and I don't really like carbs at all, Pete. I got no use for carbs. Pete likes his chicken. Pete likes his chicken with 2 sides, bread and fries. I'd rather just focus on the chicken. And I can sit, and I'd call it a bucket, but it doesn't really come in a bucket. When you get it from, user asks for extra thighs instead of drumsticks, and they do it for them. That might be a great call, because thighs are by far the best piece of the chicken. Lisa Smith listens to Morning Brew podcast every morning. Yes, but Lisa, that isn't an answer to why I should do a podcast. You also listen to me every morning. Okay, Lisa, I appreciate you. You're a longtime watcher and you offer valuable insight. Should I turn off what I'm doing here and go over there and create a podcast somehow? And if so, tell me why. Because I don't know. And nobody's told me why. If I did a podcast, I'd be even more famous than I am now. Would I? I mean, fame isn't what I'm going for. Fame isn't what I'm going for. I guess I don't know what a podcast really is. It seems like it's a man or woman talking to an audience. And it feels like I'm doing that. Okay, DDR says people, because then people can listen to the whole show anytime. Well, I post all these videos on YouTube. So you can listen to them anytime. Lisa Smith said format is usually more than one person at a time. Okay, that's a good thing. First of all, my format wouldn't have to be. But on a podcast, I'm guessing the podcaster isn't really engaging an audience. They're engaging somebody they might be talking to or interviewing with. And that's not what I do. So I think I've gotten some answers here a little bit. Okay. A podcast is interviewer and interviewee. And I've seen that. I've seen it. I get it. I know what the bald guy, Joe Rogan, sits down with somebody and talks to them about something. But that's not what I do. Mosey says maybe it gives you higher revenue. Mosey, maybe it does. But maybe it giving me higher revenue isn't enough for me to switch. And I don't know that I want to sit down and interview anybody. I just don't. I don't know if I want to plan it. I don't know if I want to say, hey, we're going to meet at 8:30 in front of 2 microphones and talk about Naperville or politics or anything. I mean, heck, the person might annoy me. They might get annoyed by me. Heaven forbid. Whereas here, this seems to work. Because I'm loosely engaging with people here. Levi said it could give you higher revenue because you are heard by more people. Well, I'm not sure that I would be heard by more people. You know, we all look at Joe Rogan and goes, wow, he's mega successful. You know, I'll bet you there's 10 million podcasters that we've never heard of that aren't mega successful. You know what I mean? You know what I mean? I think you do. And my point is, I think what I'm doing here on TikTok is kind of working. I got 100 people watching. I mean, 98. Now I got 100. Way easier to get brand deals though, but you put a question mark. I could be right up there with Joe Rogan, but I'd be starting over. Again, I think it's just funny because I got 100 people watching right now telling me I should stop what I'm doing that they are watching. And I don't have 100 people, but I mean, I appreciate this conversation. But I'm not sure I should stop doing what I'm doing that you're watching and I'm smiling with and I'm drinking coffee outside of a Dunkin' Donuts and go somewhere else and say, hey, 102 people that are watching me right now, I'm sorry, I'm going to turn off this channel and go over there. Go listen to me over there. It'll be fun. Might not be that fun. I think our natural instinct is change is better. Something different is better. And honestly, if I started a podcast, I mean, if somebody wanted to say, hey, Ken, we like your voice, we like your topics, we'll pay you $200,000 to sit in front of a microphone and talk for 2 hours, I'd say sounds great. But just to stop what I'm doing to try something else for fun, I don't think it'd be prudent. Yeah. Oh, well, thank you, Julie Flanagan. No one said stop doing this. Some content creators have different channels where they do different things. You have to get advertisers to make money. You know, I think that's a good point, Cat Sarge. I have a different perspective on that. I don't think you'd have to get advertised. I think you have to get followers, and the advertisers have to get you. I think the advertisers have to get me. I really do. I know my content is special. It is. I know this format is special. I know I have 98 people, 97 people watching live right now. And that's more than most people that are going live on TikTok right now. And I know my show doesn't cost me anything. All I need is a phone and a cup of coffee. And I know I generate revenue doing this. And I know it makes me smile every day and provides value to viewers, at least people that are looking for value. You know, if you're not looking for value from my show, you're not going to find it. You got to have your eyes open. If you want to find faults with me and problems with me, you can do it. I mean, it's not that hard. Happy Thanksgiving week, Kim Williams. How are you? Talking a little longer today. If Kia was smart, they would embrace the live and Kia Soul Life and support your show. Well, user, I bet Kia is smart. And I bet you they would. But I've only owned a Kia for 2 weeks. But I'll bet you I'd be a great brand ambassador for Kia. I bet you they could do a whole commercial series on me. I'd have to be prettied up. They might give me a toupee or some sort of thing and put me in a convertible so my faux hair could be blowing in the wind while I'm riding down the road. But I'll bet you more people would be happy if they bought Kia Souls, because I can't tell you. And my last car was an Audi A6. You know, that cost 3 or 4 times as much. And maybe it's because I needed this car more than I needed that car, and this car is more life-changing for me. But I'll tell you what, I love this car. Hey, Vanessa, thank you so much for following the live creator. They probably don't want to encourage living in Kia, potential liability. Hey, Kia Soul, gray Kia Soul, taking a left turn. Kid you not, it feels that good. It feels that good. I could interview the sales kid. I could. That'd be kind of a fun interview. But see, that's only podcast 1. And he and I had a great conversation. And I posted videos about my interaction with him that have been seen tens of thousands of times. So maybe I don't want to interview. Maybe I'm a storytelling machine. I'm a storytelling machine and a talking machine with a gift of gab. And if I had to interview somebody else, it would mess with the mojo. I love Connor. He was a great guy. He watched my show. Anybody in the Naperville area looking to buy a Kia, go say hi to Connor. Go say hi to Connor. He was very nice. But I don't know that I'd want to interview him. I mean, I'm try. Hi, Connor. Let's pretend. Hi, Ken. How are you? I'm doing well. How's sales this week? Well, it's been a little slow, Ken. It's Thanksgiving week, but we're having a big Black Friday event. Should be a crowded day. Oh, that's cool. What kind of specials are you offering? Well, we're offering, instead of the typical $750 off sticker price, we're offering $1,500. Oh, wow, that's neat. See, I could do both sides of an interview. I don't even need Connor. Maybe I'll do a podcast and I'll just do both sides. I'll do both sides. I'll say, have a microphone here, and I'll keep looking over there to my passenger seat and say I'm interviewing Taylor Swift. Hi, Taylor, you look lovely today. Oh, thank you, Ken. You look very handsome, too. If I wasn't going out with that guy on the Kansas City Chiefs, I'd be all over you. Oh, go on, Taylor. You're making me blush. Daly says maybe Connor had his own stories to tell. Well, if he does, he should do a talk show. He should do a talk show. You know? If he doesn't, he should be a car salesman. You know? Kathleen, thank you so much for following the Live Creator. I tell you what, again, I was thinking about going live in downtown Naperville. It's real pretty in the morning. It's 6 o'clock. It's dark out and the Christmas lights are on. So I do like the scene there. But I'm sitting on kind of a wettish, coldish, cementish thing. And it's not that comfortable. Kind of hunched over. Kind of distracted because there'll be garbage trucks rumbling by. And it's kind of comfortable sitting right here. It's kind of comfortable sitting right here. Doing my show. Looking for the next Kia Soul to ride by, to drive by. Don't see any. See a lot of SUVs. I'm kind of embarrassed. I got a white one, and I think it's kind of fun. I've never, ever owned a white car before. I've always bought black. No, and I had one red car in my life. But I always bought black and one red. And Connor helped persuade me into getting the white one. And I must say, I feel pretty good about it. I feel pretty good about it. Can this be simulcast on local television? Hey, Nikki Ryan, thank you so much, Arayan, for following the Live Creator. Sandra Lynn said it's a busy area in the morning. It is a busy area in the morning. Sandra knows where I am. Sandra knows where I am. In a little bit, in about 20 minutes, there's going to be a line of cars from everyone going to Naperville Central High School. Hey, did Naperville Central beat York the other day? They played them in football. I'm not sure if they won or not. Could I be simulcast on NC-17 channel? I don't know that that would do me any good. I don't know that I'd want to. What's cool about TikTok and social media, I'm not trying to be a big in Naperville. You know, Naperville's got 150,000 people. I'd say maybe 10,000 of them know my name. My goal isn't to get to where 20,000 know my name. What I'd like is to get 0.1% of the United States knowing my name. Because there's 300 million people in the United States, and 1% of that is 3 million, and half of that would be 1.5 million. So you understand what I'm saying? You understand what I'm saying? Oh. Well, York won. That's our home school. I'm a little torn. So our local team, Naperville Central, lost to York High School in football. So I want to go, oh, that's too bad. But then Sandra Lynn threw me a curve and said, that's her home school. So I'm mixed emotions about it. I want to say, well, good for you that your home school won, but sad for Naperville that they lost. So maybe that's just what I'll say. Lori says her son is a cop in Batavia. Batavia is kind of a neat town. I like river towns. What are my total followers across all of social media? Well, I have 37,000 on Instagram. I'm going to round up a little bit, but let's call it 5,000 on YouTube. And just about 14,000 on TikTok. And about, I don't know, 5,000 or 6,000 on Facebook. So I'd say somewhere around 60,000 people follow me on social media. Yeah. So my goal, if it was to get 0.5% of the people that live in the United States, I'd have an audience of 1.5 million. But being that I have 60,000 followers on social media, and there's only 150,000 people that live in Naperville, I already, that's 40, my audience is already 40% the size of Naperville. I would bet in a year I'll have more than the size of Naperville following me. Maybe not, I don't know. But either way, I think the key to social media is thinking big, real big, and not thinking local. And, that's what I'm doing at least. But anyway, it's Monday morning. It is Monday morning. Do I listen to Harry Styles? That's funny you say that. A, I'm a big fan of One Direction. And B, my daughters love Harry Styles. And C, I do have the song Angel on my playlist by Harry Styles. I've got a girl walking by from the high school. She's wearing a tank top. I know it's what kids do. She's wearing a tank top. It's 50 degrees and wet out. Look cold if you ask me. Do I have a P.O. box? Lisa Smith, I don't right now. I don't. Post my playlist. I'm not totally sure how I do that, but I'm not above doing it for sure. The Coffee with Ken playlist. Wonder if you guys would be surprised by what's on there. I mean, I talk about it freely. If I err to a side, it'd probably be heavy metal. But I also have a fair chunk of John Denver, Jim Croce, singer-songwriter type music from the 70s. I got a few hair band songs. I got some softer music. User says they have OCD. You'd go crazy not knowing where your mail is going. I tell you what, you probably go crazy knowing where your mail is going. I tell you what, try not knowing where your mail is going. Feels pretty good. How much coffee do I drink a day? I don't want to say I'm cutting back, because I'm not. I just had less lately. This is my first cup. I'm probably going to go to Starbucks after this, because, I mean, what time is it? 7:25. I'm not working today. I mean, this is work, by the way. For anyone that's wondering, I think this is the most important work I do. It's going live every day and talking for an hour. It grows my audience here on TikTok. It increases my viewership of my videos and grows the revenue that TikTok pays me every day. And I think last month, in October, I believe I made just over $200 on TikTok. And I'm behind that right now. I've had more consistent earning videos, but not as big a spike videos. I had one video, I think, that paid me $70 on TikTok last month. Kia Soul! And haven't had one that big yet. Matuntina followed the live creator. Well, thank you, Matuntina. Sean, what's my agenda for the day? What is my agenda for the day? Dan, I've got my eyes on you, and you are on a very short leash. But what's on my agenda for the day? I don't really have an agenda. I really haven't thought past getting started. I know I'm going to work out. I know I'm going to post some videos. I know I'm going to grow my pages. I'm probably going to reach out to my older girls, see if they want to meet their dad for coffee. But I'm not going to worry too much if they don't. I know they probably have busy schedules and probably want to sleep in or go over to their friend's house in the afternoon. And my goal is not let it disappoint me or hurt my feelings at all, because I know they're just being what teenage girls are. But I'm going to reach out to them and let them know I love them. And but other than that, I got a fairly free day. Do Kia drivers have a special wave? No, I don't even know if any of the Kia drivers that drive by are waving back. And honestly, I don't wave at all. There's a Kia right there, but it's not a Kia Soul. I mean, I like seeing any Kia. It gets me excited, but I love seeing a Kia Soul. And I'm going, hey! I don't know if they're doing it back. I think, who's this weird bald man in this white Kia Soul waving at me? Probably wouldn't be the first time somebody thought that. Any interest in the new Wicked movie? No, not at all. Nothing personal. I mean, I love, is it a musical? I just get the feeling it's a musical. I don't particularly like musicals. I looked at movies coming out this week, and there's, you know, the only movie that slightly interested me, and it was only slightly, and I go, it's probably no good, was Gladiator 2. Just because Gladiator was a pretty good first movie. But again, I don't think there's really any movie out there that piques my curiosity. Sandra Lynn says it's a great movie. Is it a musical, Sandra Lynn? Brian wants to know my favorite movie ever. I'm going to have to say Rocky. Lori has a Wolf Gray Telluride 2024. I'll tell you what, like the Telluride a lot. That and the, what's the kin company to the Telluride? I test drove one and really loved it. Was impressed with it a lot. Ken the Musical wouldn't be a bad idea. where I am singing all parts to the movie, using my falsetto liberally, left and right. I'm throwing out falsetto vibes. Ah! Low, low, low. High, high, high. That would be me. I wonder what it would be about. Guy drinking coffee, singing his whole show. I don't know that I could do this show in singing. Have I ever considered writing an autobiography? Yeah, I've definitely considered writing a book. Sometimes I'll write like half a page and then stop. I don't know that I'd have the brain capacity to sit down and write a whole book, but I do think I write interestingly. And part of a prequel to Coffee with Ken was me writing every day and posting it on social media and growing my audience. And sometimes I think the way I speak the words I use, you guys are going to hate me for this. For anybody that doesn't like me, please mute what I'm about to say right now. Please mute what I'm about to say right now, because I'm going to give you so much ammunition to make fun of me. But sometimes the words I speak come out like poetry. Yes, I just said that. Yes, I did. The words I speak come out like poetry. I've said it twice now. Oh, that's going to be clipped into a bunch of troll videos for evermore. I like to give them content from time to time. I feel bad for them. They hate on me in some way. It always inspires me to post another video. Some of my videos, I only post to agitate them. Yeah. I kind of speak like Donnie. Do I like green beans as food? Not really. I mean, they're okay. They're okay. Brevity is the soul of wit. But anyway, it is Monday morning, and I've talked for almost too long. I've talked for about an hour and a half. And, I mean, I could keep talking, but I don't need to. The traffic's getting bad out front. I think it must be almost school time here at Naperville Central. But I am excited about my day. And I don't even know what it holds. I don't know what it holds. Can I rank all the Rocky movies? Well, I'll tell you. 1 is the best. 2 is really good. 3 is great. 4, I think, kind of sucks. And 5 is surprisingly good. So I'll go 5 deep. I'd say 4 is the worst of the first 5. And 1 is awesome, and 2 is right up there. And 3 is great because it's a little cheesy 80s, him running on the beach with muscles. And Clubber Lang. But still, Clubber Lang was a pretty good villain in that. So I'd say 1, 2, and 3 are great. 4 is a drop-off, and 5 is pretty darn good. And it surprised me. Yeah, I know there's a 6, and there's also Creed movies and what have you, but I don't go that deep. I'm old school. I thought Rocky 5 was crazy that they came out. I thought Rocky 4 was crazy that they came out with Rocky 4. And I thought Rocky 5 was beyond crazy. But Rocky 5 was surprisingly good and felt like it was kind of going back to the roots of him being broke and working in Philly. Real Boogie says they stopped at 4. I would suggest you watch Rocky 5. I would suggest you watch Rocky 5 because I thought it was surprisingly good. And it feels like, he's back on the streets of Philly. He's teaching Tommy Gunn how to fight. And I thought Rocky V was pretty good. All right, well, check it out, Real Boogie, and hop back on. And don't think it's as good as 1 or 2, but 4 I thought was really poor. And it was a different time. It was during the Cold War, but it was like Russia bad, U.S. good. Yeah. But anyway, it's Monday morning. It is Monday morning, and I've had a great time doing my show today. I'm going to take one more swig of coffee. I so appreciate you joining me today. I really do. And I want to thank you for following along in my story and hopping on live with me. I appreciate you. And I hope you had a great night's sleep. And I hope you are feeling good. I hope you're excited about your week. And I know it's Thanksgiving on Thursday. But I wouldn't wait till Thursday to give thanks. Find something you are thankful for right now. And right now, I am thankful for you. I'm thankful for my coffee. I'm thankful for my Kia Soul. I'm thankful for my 4 beautiful children. And I'm thankful for my gym. I'm thankful for Starbucks that I'm probably going to go to in a little bit. And there you go. That's like 7 things you're thankful for. I'm thankful for. Tell you what, it makes you feel a lot better. Makes you feel a lot better being thankful and living in gratitude. So, again, I'm thankful for you. I thank you for joining. I hope you had a wonderful night's sleep. I hope you had a great weekend. I hope you're looking forward to your day. Hope you're loving yourself. I hope you are feeling forgiving yourself. And as always, I hope to talk to you soon. Bye-bye.